Man, I feel good about myself today because I was actually planning on getting on here today and giving a message, but I was going to use my personal life to fuel the message. But I was also going to speak in a way where the person would know that I'm talking to them, but I was going to do it through video. And I've had a pattern of doing this, moving in a very passive-aggressive way, because that's very passive, but it's also aggressive because you're addressing a person without addressing a person. But you're hiding behind this passivity, if that's a word, and you're excusing yourself for moving that way when really, no, you need to, me and anyone who is like that needs to be more comfortable with addressing the source. And today I feel good about myself because I made a decision to face the fear of confrontation. And it's always going to be scary until I condition myself and condition my mind that doing that is not scary. And now I don't have to get on this video today and talk how I was going to talk before I made that call. So, you know, I feel good about the call. I was scared to make the call because I didn't want there to be an argument. I didn't want any anger. I didn't want any of that. And, you know, I didn't want to hear what the other side had to say. Sometimes people will bring an energy to your life that you do not appreciate. And you have to express clearly to these people what you don't appreciate and what you would like to see happen. And that's something that I have not done in my life. I haven't been man enough to really confront people about what I need from them. This whole demanding of respect. This is what I've been talking about in my videos. I don't just talk to talk. And I want y'all to know that I'm actually exercising my own words and advice. I do want to be a better person. And that's a very important part of me becoming better, is expressing clearly what it is that I need from people. And I want to give a message about relationships, specifically with family. There's a certain bond that we all want to have with our family. And because you have that blood tie, you know, we all have the hope and the desire to want that connection to be strong. And when it's not strong, I think we ask why, and we want to figure it out. But I think it's important to always honor the truth of a situation. And it's why I don't really wreck my mind trying to figure out why things are the way they are, because why would I ask for the answer to something that I already know? And what I know is that if a relationship with anybody, I treat family relationships just like any other relationship. If the dynamic of a relationship is divided, if it is not good, it is that way for a reason. Because whatever transpired to that point has us in a place to be in this. So the truth is, you have to honor that. You know, you don't try to like understand it. You don't try to force a relationship. You don't try to make yourself feel any differently than what you actually feel. And that hurts to feel that way about somebody that's so close to you. You know, family. You don't want to feel separated from your family. You don't want to feel like you don't want to connect to your family. And this goes for any, it could be parent, child, sibling, cousins, uncles and aunts that you've been around your whole life. Whatever the dynamic is, it hurts to get to a point with these people that you don't want to deal with them, or that you just can't deal with them. It's not that you, it's never that you want it to be that way. Nobody wants, like I said, nobody wants to be disconnected with their family. It's just, you know, I'm the type to just honor the truth of whatever it is, and I don't try to force it. I don't try to force it. You know, I could try to force myself to connect, and then I'll be in a situation where I'm not being my authentic self. You know, we can't pick and choose when we are authentic. We can't choose to be inauthentic with family just because it's family. You know, I would rather be separated from a person than to be around and it's just not real. It's not what it needs to be, because that's going to harbor even more anger and even more like just fake energy. So I'm glad I had the guts to call. I'm glad I had the guts to do that instead of doing it on video. And I'm still speaking through video because this is my platform. I'm going to speak what I need to speak. But in the past, you know, I didn't address people personally, and it affected the way that I communicated. This message wouldn't have come out like this had I not made the call that I needed to make. And, you know, I addressed it as good as I could. I'm not comfortable in the realm of confrontation, so whenever you're not comfortable doing something, it's going to feel very scary. But going back to the recent videos about how, you know, opening my third eye and understanding that everything is in your mind, I'm understanding when you're not high, the things that trigger you feel more scary because you're not up. When you're up, when you're high, everything looks different because you're already up there. So the things that would make you anxious, they probably not making you anxious because you're already up at that state. Your body's already amped up like that. Or it's in a state where, you know, your mind is just, it's just in a different space. So the sober mind interprets things differently, and it's triggered differently. So I'm really learning, like, I was scared to reach out, but my spirit knew it was something that I needed to do in order to demand some respect and to take care of myself. Your spirit always wants what's best for you. And sometimes what's best for you is going to require you to do something that's not easy. It's going to require you to step outside of your comfort zone and do something challenging. And you should want to face that. Because again, it reminds you that you're alive. Go toward the things that make you feel alive. Sometimes the things that make you feel alive are the things you don't want to do at all. I didn't want to call. I want to be to myself. You know what I mean? I didn't want to have that conversation. But it felt good to have the conversation because it needed to happen. Sometimes things need to happen that you don't want to happen. And when you face it, you know, you realize it's not as scary as you thought. You're actually more confident than you think. Because the fear of confronting is always, okay, how am I going to be able to carry myself? It's not so much that I'm scared of the person I'm confronting. I'm scared of who I am in that conversation. I'm scared that I won't be able to hold my own. I'm no longer afraid. You know, I know that I can speak through it. I'm a grown-ass man. Like, why wouldn't I be able to handle myself in a confrontation? And it ain't about being big and bad. It ain't about being aggressive, because I didn't call. I feel like people think in order to demand respect, you have to be a big bad bully. You got to be an aggressive energy, and you got to intimidate a person. But no, if that's not who you are, then don't be that. Don't try. I'm not that person. I'm never going to be the intimidator. I'm never going to be that. You know, but I'm smart. I know how to verbalize things, and I know how I feel. So I know these things, so I should be able to speak through that and not be scared, because it's very simple. You tell a person how you really feel and what you need from them. You demand your respect. That's how you demand your respect. They either choose to give you that respect or not, but the fact that you vocalize it, that can't be ignored. You made yourself heard. It feels good to make myself heard in that way. I've made myself heard in a lot of ways, but not in the realm of respect. When it comes to demanding respect, I've been quiet for too long in my life. And I'm happy that now I see how important it is to be heard in those moments. I really trusted myself tonight. I trusted myself. And the idea that I had in my mind of how that call was going to go, it actually went pretty similar to how I envisioned it in my mind. It actually went better than what I thought. It wasn't as amped up as I thought it was going to be. But I was met with the type of energy that I expected. And it wasn't as bad as I thought. It really wasn't. You know? And it feels good to not be afraid of that. And even if I was afraid, I was able to talk to myself and say, the fact that you are afraid is just your spirit moving you to do something that you know you need to do. And the more you avoid it, the more it's just going to keep lingering inside of you. That's why we can't avoid the things that make us afraid. It's very true when they tell you on the other side of fear, that's where all the greatness is, all the success. Your best self is on the other side of that fear. And you ain't got to address the fear in a certain way. You ain't got to you don't put so much pressure. The fact that you just step into it, because once you step into it, you're going to find out who you really are. It's always scary, you know, before you step, but when you step into it, then you start to really be able to see yourself through the moment. It's never as scary as you think, I promise you. You just have to get in it. You have to go toward it and find out who you really are. And when you find out who you really are, you find out who other people are. And then you can move how you need to move through this life. So I want to encourage people to do that. Specifically the people who are like me, who do not confront well. People who are passive. Don't be afraid of your own voice. Your voice is actually more powerful than you think. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be loud. But you have to be heard. People have to hear you, what you want, what you need from them. This is the dynamic of relationships. It's not about what one side wants, what the other side. Both people got to be heard. And you deserve to be heard. Don't walk around this life being bullied. You know, I've been a person who's very easy to bully. I've been a very easy person to bully because I do not stand up for myself at all. I don't let my voice be heard. But all that ends because I've decided that I'm not going to be that person anymore. So everybody has to decide to not be the type of person that causes you weight. We literally cause our own weight and our own trauma through the negative habits that we develop throughout our life. You have to pinpoint the habit that makes your life uneasy. What is the thing that you do that is not yielding the results that you want? This is one of those things for me. And as uncomfortable as it is to change it, I'm willing to go through that discomfort because what's on the other side is way better than continuing to live that pattern and to continue to hurt myself because I want to stay comfortable. How is it that we stay comfortable in a place that makes us uncomfortable? The same place that makes you comfortable is the same place that causes you stress, weight, and the most discomfort in your life. So I would like to think that people are not really concerned with living comfortable. They want to just get away with being fucked up. And they are so comfortable in their own fucked up ways that they will endure whatever comes with that because they are too scary to think and move in a different type of way. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is sick. I don't accept being a sick person because I'm not sick. I have a mind for a reason. I can change things about myself so that I am no longer moving in a sick way. So don't accept that you're sick. You're only sick when you accept it. Do something different. Be better. Love you.